Fox Sports 910, Benjamin Garcia doing the filling in duties today on The Drive. A lot of things to talk about on this edition of The Drive. I'm not sure if you saw it. Probably didn't, because you're not living on social media like me. But Devin Booker released a very telling background of the Olympics. Dropped a video on IG. It was a lot of fun to watch. I'm not big into the whole fanboy experience. It's never been me. I got a lot of that out of my system when I was younger. Wore a Suns jersey every single day to school as a younger kid. I'm talking Lou Amundsen. I'm talking Grant Hill. I'm talking Jim Jackson. I'm talking Vince Carter. Guys that you forgot played on the Suns. Raja Bell. A bunch of different players. Sean Marion, Steve Nash. Those are my guys. I don't really do the fanboy thing anymore. I am now, instead of a pom-pom waiver, always just trying to look for the best version of the Phoenix Suns. And, you know, it got me really thinking. Once I saw this Devin Booker kind of documentary of what he had seen from the Olympics. He did it on a camcorder. It was very old school. He had it. It was really cool. A lot of angles. Him being shot from the literal stands with the camcorder. A lot of different angles. But that's not really what I got from it. I watched the whole thing. I was actually infatuated with it. It was a ton of fun to watch. There was one player in particular that was oddly very close with Devin Booker. It was very interesting. Very interesting. Anthony Edwards and Devin Booker were kind of best friends. In that whole documentary or inside look of what we saw, it was just really interesting to see. It was really interesting for you to be able to get an inside look of what the potential forming of an alliance can be. And so it got me thinking, is there a chance Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant team up before Kevin Durant retires? Because we know the lubricator to that relationship was Kevin Durant, because Anthony Edwards loves Kevin Durant. Can never stop talking about the guy. Loves KD. Always talking about Kevin Durant. And so you dive deeper into it, and you're like, wait a second. Super teams, alliances are formed at two things: All-Star Weekend and the Olympics. But mostly the Olympics. Heatles, that originated in the Olympics. KD and Devin Booker, that originated in the Olympics. Numerous other stars from back in the day, that originated in the Olympics. Teams and players have a ton of fun playing with each other, and they're like, let's move this party over to the regular season. Does it always work? No. And this is not me saying, I think this is actually kind of crazy to say, but this is not me saying Anthony Edwards is going to be a Phoenix Sun. That's nuts. It's never happening. Very slim chance of that happening. But is there a scenario where the Phoenix Suns flame out horrendously again this season, and Devin Booker looks around and there's not a lot really where to go? Can't really go up. Kevin Durant's another year older. Probably going to have to trade him. Bradley Beal. If the Suns disappoint, it's probably because he was a main contributor in that. Is there a scenario where you move Devin Booker and Kevin Durant over to the Timberwolves? I don't know how money works. I'm not talking about any of that. It's just a thought in my brain where, oh my goodness, the Suns were the beneficiary of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant teaming up once they started their bromance in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, which was actually taking place in 2021. It did worry me, because although I was one of the people when the Suns got absolutely destroyed in the first round of the playoffs, I was like, do you consider trading Devin Booker? And I am now of the belief that that's just insane. That's just insanity. You shouldn't do that. And now that I've really been talked off the ledge about it, it worries you. Like, oh my goodness, is someone recruiting my guy, my star player? And then it really makes you think, guys, let's be honest. Let's not live in fantasy land. Let's all grow up. Let's be honest. Star players do not stick with their team forever. That is not something that happens. And then it also leads me to the next point of Kevin Durant still does not have a contract extension yet. And he's been eligible for like weeks now. And you kind of had it's the Olympics. He's busy doing other things. He's got other things going on, other irons in the fire, if you will. We'll figure it out when he comes back. And myself, who have pushed back on this narrative that Kevin Durant just deserves a contract extension and the Suns should be quick to give it to him. Yes, I'm of the belief that, sure, give Kevin Durant a contract extension, sure. But let's be honest, it is a little worrisome that they haven't done that yet. It almost makes you believe, are the Suns looking for an eject button from this? Are the Suns quietly, we'll see how the season goes. We don't really care about the good vibes. We're focused on business. And if this Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal experience doesn't work again, are they quietly surveying their options, all of them which being on the table? I'll be honest with you. I was very uncomfortable with Devin Booker and Anthony Edwards being so chummy at the Olympics, being so friendly, if you will, at the Olympics. Because immediately, my thought was not, oh man, these guys could team up in Phoenix. My thought was, is he recruiting Devin Booker to be a Minnesota Timberwolf? That was my thought. That was my worry. Because, let's just be honest. Steph Curry. This is a guy in Steph Curry that he is the Golden State Warriors. You think of the Golden State Warriors, you think of the Bay Area, you're thinking of Steph Curry. And now there's rumblings, he's not so sure he's going to stay there. That's Steph Curry, and he's got 4 rings. It does worry me that Devin Booker, who is in not an ideal situation in Phoenix right now, being courted by other players. Hey, I know you're happy in Phoenix for now, but how cool would it be if we teamed up in Minnesota? Like, those are conversations that happen. Let's not be naive. This is how Kevin Durant and Devin Booker came to be in the Olympics. This is how they came to be on the Phoenix Suns. If you told someone a year before the 2021 Olympics happened, which were actually 2020, whatever, hey, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, they're going to play together, everyone would have called you insane. Because he was already with his buddy Kyrie Irving and James Harden in Brooklyn. He was happy. Listen, I understand Suns fans are rejoicing that Devin Booker is making friends and he's starting to become more likable throughout the NBA, throughout social media. I'm just saying, they were a little too friendly for me to just be okay with the fact that he's just making friends. If you don't think Anthony Edwards didn't once whisper once or twice to Devin Booker, hey man, even as a joke, even in passing, but just to plant the seed, what do you think about Minnesota this time of year? Why don't you come play with us? Hey, listen, I know you're happy. I know you're happy in Phoenix, but just in case, keep us in the back of your mind. And if it doesn't work out this season, the Suns might feel like they might have to trade Devin Booker. He's given almost a decade here in Phoenix. And if he still hasn't won yet, maybe he does look at a scenario with Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves like, hey, I really like what they got going on. And Kevin Durant as well. Maybe it's both guys go over there. Kevin Durant, we know how much he loves Anthony Edwards, and we know how much that is reciprocated to Kevin Durant with Anthony Edwards. I mean, it's a real, it should be a real concern. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm not trying to wish Devin Booker out of here. I just want to put it on the radar. Because Suns fans are so used to Devin Booker making friends and making acquaintances at the Olympics or All-Star Weekend, and it has only benefited the Phoenix Suns thus far. It has only benefited the Phoenix Suns thus far. We haven't been on the other side where it hasn't. And if there's ever rumblings that the Minnesota Timberwolves are interested in Devin Booker, or that Anthony Edwards not only has an affinity for Kevin Durant or Devin Booker, this is where it started at the Olympics. And it's what worries me, that the thing that was giving us such good vibes during the Olympics, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, being awesome, being a ton of fun. It's what worried me. This is what worries me. Devin Booker being courted, Kevin Durant being influenced to potentially planting the seeds of jumping ship. Happened with Chris Bosh and the Raptors, happened with happened with LeBron James on the Cleveland Cavaliers, happened with Kevin Durant. This is not something I'm just making up. This is something that isn't directly a threat right now, but should definitely be on every single Suns fan's radar.